Imagine your business not just surviving, but thriving. Your wealth locked in, your opportunities exploding, and your family's future built on a legacy that never fades. I'm Leah Garcia, a financial strategist and insurance professional. I help entrepreneurs and high-growth enterprises protect, distribute, and transfer their wealth through my proven system, the Wall of Wealth. I unite your experts into one cohesive strategy because the most expensive line on your balance sheet isn't debt or taxes, it's conflicting advice. Ready to align every dollar with your mission and turn today's success into tomorrow's divine promise. Wealth today, dynasty tomorrow.
And we are live. Welcome to this episode of Wealthy Wednesday. Today's going to be epic. This is going to be one for the books. I got dressed up because this is one that will be repeated, rebroadcasted over and over and over, and probably be into eternity is really what I think. Because although this is a topic and a person you may be really familiar with, we're going to take a deep dive into something in an area that you might not have heard her speak before. So come on in. Let me know where you're tuning in from. We are live here all over social media. We are live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. We're live on LinkedIn. And let us know what neck of the woods you are tuning in from. So get your fuzzy slippers, get your notepad, get your favorite drink. What are you drinking? I've got it's actually water, but I had tea, so it's like diluted tea. Okay, it's not real tea, but you know what? I always need to have a little drink here because, we got to stay hydrated. We got to stay focused. We got to stay in alignment. So I know that you're going to love this. It's going to be a lot of fun. So my guest speaker today, and I want to say this too, is that her and I talk about a lot of things. I've been studying personal development for many, many years. And the reason is because for me, when we talk about wealth and finances, it starts with our thinking. It absolutely does. Whatever we're doing out here, if we don't get our stinking thinking fixed out, we won't keep our wealth. I knew that from the very start of my career. And so that's why I've invested a lot of time in personal development, Think and Grow Rich, and all of these things, because I understand that I have to fortify myself so that I can be able to bring my clients to their best and greatest version also. So our guest speaker today, you guys are going to love this. Jay, you got your fuzzy slippers. Oh, I love it with the flop ears. That's beautiful. I would love to see that, Jay. I would absolutely love to see that. Send us a picture. We need that. So her and I speak about so much. We've done so many events together. And even though we talk about a lot of the same things, I always learn something from her. She always gives a different spin. I've watched our queen, I call her the Queen Doctor, in so many different spaces and places. And I say that affectionately with all due respect. And she gives of herself in so many ways, in so many different areas that you may or may not be aware of. And I'm just honored to know her. She is known as a gold standard line editor, an author, multiple times, best-selling international author, master teacher, Laws of Achievement master, Think and Grow Rich. She's actually has some of the most specialized knowledge about Think and Grow Rich, if you want to know anything about it. And just somebody who truly is here to pour into us and give us the blessings of multiple generations, multiple years of what she's learned. So please give it up and give a warm round of applause for the one and only Miss Leslie Flowers. Here you are, my queen. Welcome to Wealthy Wednesday. Again, I feel like we were just here a couple of days ago.
Well, weeks, but yeah. Hi, everybody.
So for those of people who have been under a rock, let people know who you are.
Oh, gosh. Well, thank you for having me, Leah. And I'm really looking forward to today's conversation because a lot of people do not have jobs, but that doesn't mean that your thoughts can't attract money to you from unexpected sources. And so that's one of the things we're going to talk about in terms of setting goals. That's my specialty. Over the last 17 years, I've used my hybrid program in 65 12-week. Hi, Erin. 12-week cycles of my program over 17 years, and 500 goals have been set and achieved based on what I'm sharing each week and what I'll be sharing in a workshop tomorrow, which will last several hours. And so the basis of a lot of the work I do are the principles of success, where I have spent some 20,000 hours studying and teaching, and almost 2 decades now. And I went really deep, Leah, because there were some missing elements to achievement. Like I couldn't figure out why people couldn't achieve every time. What was missing? And that's where the 12 laws of achievement came, which I created and used to test it. And it's what was missing. We know a little bit here, we know a little bit there, but specifically today, we're going to look at something that has to do with not making money from your job. Your big money isn't going to come from the 40 hours a week you spend at your job, right? It's not coming from that. And it can come, most people know me that I attracted $16,000 when there was only 500, using this kind of thinking that we're going to talk about today. So yes, you want to invest your money and you want to be able to generate income, but this is a way that very few people know about. And even when they know about it, sometimes we don't practice the things we know. Do you know what I mean, Leah?
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. I am picking up what you're putting down. And our topic today is wealth built on faith and know-how. And I'm going to say this right here publicly. I did attend your goal setting class last year for the first time.
You did.
And, I did not do it exactly, but, and I didn't achieve my goal. But what is so incredible is that the things that I achieved were things that I never even anticipated. Got an incredible recognition in what was that, August. Got all this recognition. My team was number 10 in the entire company. I was number 5 in the entire company. And by the way, earned a trip to a private island. I mean, all these incredible things that I had a different goal, right? And so what I embrace about your system is that things are going to start happening for you. And you have greatness in you that has not been polished up. It's never about, I think sometimes people think it's something that they need to get. And in my mind, though, it's something that's already in us that we need to allow to blossom. And so I give you so much credit for those achievements, because it was really through using your goal setting, going through the class, having my goal card. And I got off track. Okay, I'm going to say I did get off track a little bit. But the things this past year was really an incredible year. And I'm super fired up for 2026. We're going to get in the mix. So so let's dive deep into this. So where would you like to begin, my queen?
Well, the first thing I want to say is, in terms of your attending, the last year, that there are many, many goals, right? And when you speak of the goal you didn't achieve, that was probably the one at the top of the list, but there were several. There are multiple things, you do put them in priority order, but as you move toward them, you're generating that cellular vibration, that mindset with consistency. And basically, you're creating low-hanging fruit. You're drawing people and opportunities to you. And most of us don't realize it. We look at it as a coincidence, right? Mm-hmm. But what if it isn't a coincidence? And what if there's just stuff we don't know yet, pointing to the know-how?
Yes.
Right? And that's what it is with goal setting. Over all these years, I've never met anybody who took a goal setting class other than mine. I know people that have done the 8-week Proctor Goal Achiever program. Okay. But in terms of in high school or college or any other place, nobody knew how to do it. Everybody has empirical data, right? Certain things work, certain things, right, through a trial and error. So we're not ignorant, but the challenge becomes that the very things that we don't know or we're unaware of until we know them, they're counterintuitive. So they're the very things that'll trip you up. So of the 12 laws, maybe you know 9 already through trial and error. But what baffles people is their belief about how certain things work, and they just haven't looked at another way. So that's all there. That's the know-how. What is missing? The presence of which would have you achieve consistently, because who wants haphazard and sporadic? I mean, we all have had that, right? Up and down, but it's hard to build momentum. It's hard to build confidence. It's hard to develop self-esteem, right? You're riding high and then you fall, right? And then the next one, you make it. So it's rather like this, and it doesn't give you a chance to grow. So what does that bring up for you? And look at all the wonderful folks that are here.
I know. We've got all these wonderful faces here. It brings up a lot for me. I've got some notes, but I want to welcome all these beautiful people who have joined us. We have the most amazing Mr. Aaron Gibson, Soul Man Live, so creative, incredible spirit, somebody you just want in your corner. I need to have you on here, Mr. Soul Man Live, for sure. We need to have a coffee chat. And my good friend, Miss Paula Washington. Oh my gosh, this is another thing that happened to me. I have to share this. And I'm not trying to be braggadocious. I'm not. I just want you all to understand that changing, really having a succinct goal setting strategy will open up opportunities. Miss Paula Washington wrote an incredible book, and she gave me the honor to add a foreword on her book. I mean, I'm just like tingling. That was so incredible. Her book's amazing. If you're a woman looking to get your next level, you're looking for an encore career, please connect with Miss Paula. She's going to be on my show next week. So absolutely brilliant. You're going to love her. That's going to be one that you are all going to enjoy. And then we have, of course, Miss Noni Baroni's Uncle Jay. He does have his fuzzy bunny slippers. He's also our storytelling strategist. I adore Jay in so many levels, and really from learning from Jay has really helped me to lean into storytelling with my precious grandson. He loves to read, but he didn't always enjoy my stories until I met Jay. And now he loves my stories. Now he's like, can't wait for our story time. He acts them out. I mean, it's just a lot of fun. And, you know, it's about those precious memories that we create with our loved ones. So thank you so much, Noni's Uncle Jay. I don't know if you know you gave me that gift. Plantine, my good friend Plantine, thank you for joining us. It's been a minute. It's so great to see you. And here is everyone's cheerleader. He's cheerleading all the time. He's cheerleading in the comments. He's probably here and cheerleading someone else at the same time, because he's not only going to be here, he's going to find ways to bring value in the comments. And I love that. Thank you so much, Meryl. We appreciate you. We appreciate all that you do. And you're always inviting me to things, and I pop on whenever I can. He loves Clubhouse too. I don't know if you guys do Clubhouse. That's one I haven't really quite leaned into. And then my Gita girl, Miss Rosie, thank you for joining us. An incredible gratitude. She's our gratitude master and also an incredible poet. If you don't know it, oh my goodness, there you go. She's a poet if you don't know it. Right here, my Gita girl. And she's also the president and founding member of my 4 a.m. club. Okay, she doesn't know. I gave her that title. She had no idea that it's hers, because 4 a.m. we get up at 2:30 to be on at 4 a.m. on Motivation Monday with Eric F. King and friends. Miss Lisa Fafek, she's our menopause mentor. Thank you so much for joining us. All things health. She talks about menopause, but she talks about all things health, whether you are in menopause, know somebody in menopause, going to be going in menopause, you definitely need to connect with her. So I think that's everyone I see here that's new here. Oh, I think.
Did you see Jackie's here? Jackie Hallberg is here.
Oh, I didn't see Jackie.
She's here.
I don't know if this is one of your friends.
Jackie Hallberg?
No, this right here.
No, I don't know Carly.
Carly. Okay, Carly, you're a new friend here. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. The YouTube is getting warmed up here. I love this. I'm not sure who this is either. I don't know who
cellular
you are.
Vibration.
I don't see Jackie. Where is Jackie? I love Jackie.
I see her. It's okay. I see her. And Margaret is here. Margaret Martinez is here.
Oh my gosh, my good son. It's great to see you. I have to give Miss Jackie her flowers. And I'm so sorry, Funk Congress. I'm not sure if I'm messing up your name. Thank you for joining us. The YouTube channel is warming up here. I love it. Miss Jackie she's just a travel connoisseur, and I adore her voice. I could listen to her. She should be like a reading. She should do audibles because her voice is so soothing. I absolutely adore Miss Jackie, and really a pillar of our network and community. And then we have Miss Nicole. She is our brilliance behind Guiding Brilliance Writers. If you are looking to be a writer in 2026, listen, we got to get in the mix in 2026. We got to come out of the shadows. We got to get in the comments, and we got to get in that spotlight. So if you're ready, speak to Miss Nick, because she is incredible. And thank you for joining us, my corazón. If you want to learn about Go Brunch, here you go, right here. Miss Margaret Martinez is really the guru and master, and she's so patient. I adore her. She is so patient. I really need to learn more about Go Brunch. Again, can we do everything? America, oh my goodness, we have a full house here. I'm not surprised at all. I am not surprised at all. John, thank you for joining us from Chicago. Oh, wonderful. Meryl's amazing. Thank you so much, Meryl. We appreciate you. So yes, lots came up for me. Put where you're coming in from, where you're tuning in from, where in the neck of the woods. I'm here in Monterey, California. And several things came up for me while you were sharing that. So for me, the difference, because I've taken many goal setting classes, and remember when people used to talk about SMART goals? I threw away those a long time ago. I understood. I did the research to figure out what SMART goals, where they originated from, and I realized they were not for me, for an entrepreneur. So I threw those out a long time ago, and I've been searching for goal setting classes. I've taken many different courses, but the difference for me with your goal setting class, one of the differences is that it is very, very simple. You take and that's brilliance. That's the genius. Taking a concept and helping us to drill it down and making it into a simple process. Because what happens is most people get lost in the sauce like a meatball when it comes to setting goals. They have all these things. They write everything down.
They don't know, right? And that's right. That's right. And sorry for interrupting you. I'm just thinking. So, what can I share with you to begin with, Leah? To answer, should we answer the question about cellular vibration, or where?
Oh, absolutely. We're going to answer all of their questions. So let me see if I can bring that back up here.
Oh, I remember it. I remember
you
it.
Okay.
Yeah, he said, "What is cellular vibration?" But I'm very interested in what your questions are. So you said you jotted down some things. Did you have a question?
Yes, I want to know what helped you to understand that with all these different types of goal setting that people would have, was it because of your experience, or was it something else that helped you to understand that there was a disconnect? Like, is it just because of your experience, or was it through helping other clients? Like, how did you figure that out?
Well, there comes a time when we do a lot of different things. There comes a time in our life where we drill into one area and go deep. So this is instead of reading people who say, oh, I'm reading 40, 60 books in a year, right? That doesn't allow you to be an expert, to be irreplaceable in a way. And so, 17 years ago, I'd already been in personal development for quite a while. And when I was led through the same process that I used to earn or to generate income or money, right? Not through normal ways. So not through working, because I was working and I generated an income for my needs. But there is another way. And so as soon as I began in 2007, a deep dive and spent 20,000 hours, 17 years, 65 business quarters, taking people through this process, but it also includes leadership and confidence. It's super, my program was super comprehensive. But and so goal setting, achievement, every 12 weeks, we'd set a new goal based on these 12 laws. And that's how I was able to get the empirical evidence of 500 documented goals. And it's entrepreneurs, it's emerging enterprises. It doesn't matter if, you're a franchise owner or whether you're a librarian or whether you are working in corporate. It works the same. And it does have to do with what you think. So it's the depth. It's the 90 times that I've studied the book. It's 20,000 hours of teaching here on LinkedIn, right? I do it every Friday for since COVID, pretty much 2, maybe 3 years, every Friday. And I do this for everyone else to have the repetition, but I get the benefit of it. And that's when I discovered when my clients were hitting initially, when they were hitting some of their goals and not others, and it's the same thing with organizing your calendar. What's missing, the presence of which would complete the puzzle. Right. And no teachers, parents, nobody knew. So we all grow up not really having a formula. Yet if we have word problems or we have algebraic equations or geometry, there is a process, right? And there's a procedure, a tried and true procedure. And that's what's been missing. So and I do want to say one thing about SMART goals. Let's not throw them out with the baby in the bathwater, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because I was that way for a long time. I was furious that anybody would try to use SMART goals for a vision, right? To manifest when you don't know how. And I did the research and I realized, well, heck, these are for the tasks. Each week you do 2 tasks, those you want to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. But if you use those for a dream or a vision, realistic, specific, measurable, achievable, and realistic are not, right? You will give up, because the purpose of this goal is to stay motivated until you complete it. And if it was achievable and realistic, you would have already done it. So it's not compelling enough, right? Yet to have you achieve it and be motivated the whole time. Plus, we have our fears, right? Which are very strong. And when we go to try to do something really big, that's a vision that we don't know how we're going to do it. It's bigger. It's life-changing. It's scary. So that particular thing has to be crystal clear. You have to be so compelled that any fear that comes up, particularly in the beginning, which is natural, that would take most of us out, 95 out of 100 people out, it has to be strong enough to outweigh the fear, because you can't be in faith and fear at the same time. So
yes, that is so good. Thank you so much. I always learn something from you. I mean, I always do. And I love that because I had thrown the SMART goals out with the baby and the bath water. It was gone. No water, no baby, nothing.
Right,
So
right. Just use them for tasks because you want to do 2 tasks every week. Now, you don't want to plot out every week from start to finish because you're growing in awareness. And if you mark the milestones in advance, like from today, if I have a goal in 12 weeks and I say, okay, this week I want to accomplish this, and then the following week I'm going to accomplish this, and then, all the way through the 12 weeks, there's a problem there. But that's what most people do. And so that's one of those counterintuitive things. And the reason why is because you're not static.
Right.
The level of awareness when you set the goal all the way through is growing, and you will meet people and opportunities that will fit into your goal. You're attracting them without realizing it. But if you're stuck with insisting that you meet every one of those milestones, then very often the obstacles have the people and opportunities that you've attracted, they walk right by because you're grappling with this milestone that you set way back when, right? Because it's not working. So you're going to solve that. But you can't be aware of the real magnitude of attracting people and opportunities, right? And that's what's happened to you. That's what happened to you in the sense that people are coming out of the woodwork and things are just showing up for you. You are cause in the matter. You are the source of your results. So we need to be open as we're moving toward these visionary goals, if you will. We don't know how. We just know we want it. And it's strong enough to us that we will not allow fear to have us give up. Yeah. Right? As you do that, that brings in your cellular vibration. So the person who asked about that, I'll just tell you briefly that mind is an activity. It's a cellular activity. It occurs what you think and how frequently you think it and the way you're feeling while you're thinking it, positive or negative, will attract to you exactly that. So what you're thinking, there's been a scientific research for some time that as you're feeling a certain way, positive or negative, your thoughts affect every cell in your body. And 2 particular scientists, Bruce Lipton and James Brody, have actually tracked the proteins in your cells when you're feeling super great and moving towards something you want. The proteins all move together and there's a spring in your step. They've also proven that if you're thinking, oh, woe is me, I didn't get the job. And those are our pervasive thoughts that lowers our cellular vibration, which is now out of alignment with how we were built. Yeah. So that the reason is that brain and mind are not the same. The mind actually is the source of your neuroplasticity. Everything begins with what you're thinking. The mind or the brain is like a radio, and your mind tunes in, right? So you're the one who can create new neural pathways of positivity. But it's all on you to be focusing and thinking as much as possible about that dream. That if you're not working or you are working and you want to take a vacation and you don't have the funds for it, you begin to visualize already having it every day, every other day. And it makes it scintillating. It literally boosts your cellular vibration. Remember, what you think about the most and the way you feel about it is what's going to land on your doorstep. Mm-hmm. They say that there are 50,000, in Stanley Green's work in Power Thinking, that the older research said, well, I just told you what the cellular vibration is, okay? And the 12 laws I created, they're the checklist to set and achieve every one of your goals, every time. It's the missing information that nobody knew, your parents, your teachers, etc. So now I forgot where I was. I forgot where I was. So anyway, back to you, my friend.
Yeah, that's all so good. You were talking about the brain is like the radio and your mind tunes in. I just like, wow.
Yes, because one is an organ. It's an electronic switching station. Your mind is a cellular activity. And one of my biggest pet peeves, and we could do this together, the reason I do this work is because how many psychotherapists, neurogeeks come out with degrees and they don't know what the mind does because no one ever taught them. It's not taught in university. It's a very kind of exclusive, I don't know whether it's so exclusive. It just takes a geek like me to spend almost 20 years figuring this out so that we can actually influence our results. That's what I want for everybody. If you want it and you know how to think about it consistently, and that's what you did, Leah. That is what you did when all these things from last year started showing up for you. Oh my God, that's what people say every year. Oh, I can't believe how many goals. And you didn't know a lot of those goals, or most of the goals that do you remember, you didn't know them. They came from out of the blue, correct? Things you hadn't thought of before. And that's the beauty of transformational work. Yeah. So in my workshop tomorrow in 3 hours, the first half, you're going to be loaded up with a super bunch of high vibrational content, right? Universal laws, the 7 universal laws, the 12 laws of achievement, the principles of success, a little quantum physics, a little metaphysics, right? Then when you're in, your mind becomes mushy, right? I'm not the first person to figure this out. Landmark Education does the same thing. All these weekend things that are intensive and usually are followed by a big sales pitch, which I don't do, right? But you get your mind mushy like a sponge. Yes. That is when you open up to the ether and the universe. And that is how you download, but you've got to get to that state. So I bring you as a guide to that mindset, that state of mind when you're open to the universe. And then down come the ideas, because all ideas are already here. They're flowing from form, which is thought energy, to form, us, and only us, we can take an idea from the universe that's thought energy, hold it, dream about it, do 2 tasks a week about it, right? Fend off our fear, being heart-centered, and eventually that is what you will yield. You will get who you're being. And you've heard that before, right? Whoever you're being, right? And when I say being, it's your whole cellular vibration. It's the dominating, because you'll never be just positive or negative. It's an aspiration. Go, baby.
Yeah, I just love you pouring into us. And I would urge everyone, if you're hearing her for the first time or you've never been to her goal setting class, I would ask you to resist the temptation to say, I already know that, because you may have heard some of these things before, right. But the way that our queen will put the puzzle pieces together is very unique. And it's maybe some big transformational shifts for you, but it may be some little nuances, because a lot of what you and I talk about are things that I study and I've heard from other people, but there is a very unique way that you've done your goal setting class and the 12 laws of achievement. You just have, you put the Queen Dr. Leslie Flowers spirit into it. And that's what makes it so incredible. And I urge everyone to sign up. If you think that you've had a goal setting class before, you don't know. Unless you've achieved every goal on your list, you don't know. There's always another level.
And most people, like I said, they know a lot, right? We do know a lot, but what's been missing, there is nothing like this. Because I've taken the thousands of hours to determine what wasn't there, right? And people do this all the time. So you can continue. I mean, it really takes something. You have to be ready and willing. This is the only a thing that I charge for. And Monday and Fridays trainings and shows are my gift to you, because I'm in a place now where I'm not selling. Even this feels a little uncomfortable. But anyway, I picked 111, the angel numbers, because tomorrow is the final red moon, and it's in Gemini, and it's a very creative time. So I decided to use, and that's what it costs, $111 USD. Easy to register. You show up, and I will take you on a trip like no other. Right? It really is a trip, isn't it, Leah?
It really is a trip, and the destination is your destination. It is wherever you want to go, and that's the beauty of it. And doing it with a collaboration with other people, I think, is just brilliant. I love the interaction with the group. I mean, your entire course. And I'm going to tell you, she has it down to the minute.
Oh, yeah.
Down to the minute.
Yeah.
Don't take longer on your potty breaks. Like, it is down to the minute. I'm telling you, she's got it here. So absolutely. Let's see. Are there any other questions here? I want to make sure to catch up on the chat here. Thank you for all of the comments. We appreciate you, Miss Paula. Absolutely. She is just so brilliant. I cannot wait. One of the best things you've taught me, my dear Leslie, you can't be in faith and fear at the same time. Absolutely. And one thing that really resonated for me when you were sharing, our queen, is that so many times I see people who are really in fear. Maybe they're in a difficult time. Maybe they have just a lot of things going on in the family, and they give it so much energy. But then when it comes to the goals and the things that we want to attract, they seem to have difficulty like generating that up in them. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. And that's really this work that I do, is really faith over fear. What is faith? How do you build it? It's a muscle that grows in direct proportion to its use. It's one of the principles of success, and it requires repetition. So once you achieve that first goal and disprove perhaps the fear that you couldn't do it or you weren't smart enough, unfortunately, once isn't enough. But once you've done it, you then have proven that you're capable and deserving. And fear is powerful. It's real. And so when we get an idea that is from a vision, right, we're going to hear things such as, well, you can't afford that. The inner conversation, that's one of your fear, the fear of poverty. Big, you run into this all the time. But the truth is, you really don't need one penny to begin. And once you begin and you get in action and you start moving toward it, fear quiets down. And this is when you start seeing people and opportunities showing up. Wow, it's not a coincidence, but it looks like one. So you're stronger and more powerful with your vibration than you know. And when something wonderful happens for you, you earned it. It's part of your karmic bank account. You were deserving of it, right? And it's not something like winning the lottery. I would never do that. I don't think I've ever bought a lottery ticket. Have you?
I have. Because I had a friend who used to require me to buy a lottery ticket. I don't know.
Really?
He had to buy one. Yes, it was a whole thing that he has, but I think he's healed himself from that trauma. Because I said, he was one of those, the gas and the brake. Incredible person, so giving, generous. And he would do this thing. He'd give everyone $1 to buy a lottery ticket when it got to like $1 billion. And so I'd have to go buy this lottery ticket because he wanted it to be purchased from different areas. You know, he's like this. He's a magician, karateka, all of these things. But he would say things like, I don't need money, Leah. I don't care about money. So he was one of those. I'm like, well, why are we buying these lottery tickets then if you don't want money? Because this is like not congruent at all.
Right. And people, there has to come a time, it could be right now for someone. when you get a light bulb moment and you finally say, there's got to be more, and you know you're ready and willing. Now, don't do these things if you're not ready and willing. You have to be very clear that this is what you want to do, because this particular workshop is the gift from God. I mean, it truly is. What you walk away with is something magical, because you didn't think of these things before, because they were handed to you. And all ideas are already here in the universe. So how do you get them? You get them. They come to you from the universe based on your vibration.
Yeah.
And some people say that there's always a plan, that God has a plan. I don't know. Maybe there is a plan. But I do know that you can influence the universe with know-how. Once you understand that there are 7 universal laws, a lot of the stuff that we worry about every day, it's already handled. So when we worry, we're thinking negatively, we're feeling not optimum, right? We're lowering our cellular vibration, and this is what makes us sick. You can think yourself to death. So it's an aspiration. And if you have something that you're working on that will change the world, change your world, that you're in love with, then it can outweigh fear. This morning we were talking, in a way, I was talking with Stanley Green this morning, and he was recounting one of his dreams when he first got into corporate. And I'm listening to him, and what he's doing now is broadcasting to 4 or 5 different platforms. He's on the phone, and his dream back then was to be able to broadcast with small cameras. And he led a team years and years ago that was transformational. They earned a big bunch of money, right? And I told him, I said, you're living the dream now. You are communicating to millions of people. You are using small cameras. So we're actually, he lived into it. For me, I remember when we first got our TV, I was about 10 or 11. And I remember standing on the toilet in front of the medicine chest, which had a mirror, right? You remember those? And had all your, okay. And once TV came out, I spent hours in front of that mirror. This is how you do this. And this is how you do this. I wanted to be on TV. Well, look where I am right now. I'm an old lady on TV. So one of the universal laws says that the universe decides by when your vision is going to come to you. But it really has. And sometimes we don't even notice it. Oh my gosh, this is the thing I wanted when I was 10 years old. This is what Stanley wanted to do, decades ago when he was leading a team. So it's important to think about, well, what about you? What was it that you wanted so much when you were younger, that it was a big dream and a big purpose of yours, and you did work in it? You may not be working in it now, because purpose changes as we grow, but it's always heart-centered. It's always service. It's just what vehicle. So when I was raising my children, my purpose was raising my children, right? That was all that mattered. That was the main goal, the main purpose, right? So as long as we're in service, we're able to outwit fear. Yeah.
That's it. We got to come from service. And when we do come from service, everything else will come. It's almost like a magnet where things start to readjust and realign. And I want to kind of touch on what we're talking about backstage, because we're kind of, I don't even know where this hour's gone. It always goes so short. It always goes so quickly. So we were talking about how wealth can come from many areas. And
Yes.
sometimes we get so fixated that it's going to come from my career. It's going to come from my job. It's going to come from my business, or it's going to come from the lottery. that we close ourselves off to other opportunities. So share more about that and what you were sharing with me backstage about how things can come to you.
Yes, and not by the lottery. Okay. So, well, you've actually shown it in a way here, because those things that come on your way to a goal, as you've been maintaining that high cellular vibration, excited, moving toward it, one goal at a time, that gives you the chance to capture the process. So once it works for you once, you can do it again and again and again. And so, but, I'll give you an example of how you can manifest money when you don't have it, doing this. So you can make money by working, right? But that's not where your real money is coming from. It's going to come from a collaboration, an unexpected collaboration. And it's all based on your mindset. Who are you being? What are you thinking about? And I was going to tell you that the new research on how many thoughts a day we have is now 6,000 complete thoughts. Okay, so before that, the literature showed 50,000 ideas. And look, we're bombarded, and NLP will tell you that most don't even get in. And even the ones that are relevant to you, we sometimes are confused at what they mean, right?
Yes.
So information coming in is filtered or bumped out. Well, I forgot where I was going. Where was I? Tell me where I was.
Where were you? I was just writing down that we only have about 6,000 thoughts. So we used to think it was like 50,000 thoughts a day.
Yeah.
We only have 6,000 complete thoughts.
So you can only do this. It's an aspiration. When you think of it, you can leave little stickies around to remind yourself. One of the things that I'll share tomorrow is a goal card. And it's a little index card that has the 6 definite practical actions to turn your vision into the financial equivalent required to achieve the goal. So let's get clear that we need money ultimately to achieve a big goal, but not to start. We don't need a penny to start. And it's in the starting where the courage shows up, where the faith shows up. So in terms of manifesting money that you don't have, when I, in 2007, was guided through intuitive things happening, which I won't go into, to work and be certified by Bob Proctor as a consultant and a business consultant, I made a call in 2007 and I talked to the salesperson. Everything she said, I wanted. I mean, it was so good, Leah. We're going to send you a manual of Think and Grow Rich. You're going to gather 8 people and in person, you're going to teach them a different principle every week. And in a mastermind, I said, what's Think and Grow Rich? And what the hell is a mastermind? I didn't know. Well, don't worry. We'll send you the manual and this is what you do. Then you're going to come down in 6 months and you're going to meet all these people from all over the world. Well, I've already started visualizing, and visualization is the DNA of manifestation. So at the end of the conversation, though, of course, I asked how much. Now, this is 2007, and I'm making about $2,500 a month as an executive assistant. I lived okay. I mean, I'm not really greedy, and I lived a comfortable life. When she said $16,000, I said, fine, I'll be there. Now, I had $500 put away. This was so extreme that I totally did not give any focus to the money because it wasn't possible. If it had been 5,000, I might have been able to figure a way to borrow that, right? But I knew I had already been in personal development for over 10 years, This body of work that Proctor worked on out of Think and Grow Rich was all about mind. And I was so fascinated by it. So I said, great, thank you. I'll be there in the spring, right? She said, you just have that money to us by March in 2008, and we'll expect you at West Palm Beach. And in the meantime, they sent me the notebook. I gathered the 8 people. So I was very busy, moving toward this goal and not even thinking about the money. So all my visualization was about this. I didn't worry at all about the money because it wasn't possible, but I just knew I was going.
Yeah.
I knew I was going. And what happened? 4 months in, my husband calls my ex. Leslie, the company sold off some of our stock. I'm sending a check for your share, which is $20,000. I promise you I didn't know about it. He didn't know it was going to be sold. It was out of the blue. Now, that gave me, but here's the question. Was that a coincidence? Or was that me being driven beyond all else? And I will use this word, but out of respect to Jay, I will say it in advance. I was obsessed with it. And when you create something, a computer, the Taj Mahal, you could look at the 7.5-minute trailer for my book Errata last summer that Aaron and I worked on. Obsessed with it. So it's out of balance. Do you know what I mean, Leah? Right? You're off your rocker.
Yes.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
And so the money came. And so I went. And I'm one of the rare people that continues today, every week, to teach this material. People come in and they do it for a while. And I knew this was it for me. And in the meantime, I just finished my 13th book, certainly contribution, right? To most of them are anthologies, but we just keep moving our feet, right? One baby step at a time. We can reach Mount Everest taking baby steps as long as we don't stop.
Absolutely.
As long as we keep moving our feet. So that's how to do this. Learn with me on Mondays and on Fridays, or come to the workshop. Learn to understand the power of your mind. Understand that mind and brain are different, that mind is the source of your results. It's the source of how your body feels or doesn't feel. And mind is, with this positive business, is what causes new neural pathways to grow in your brain. You already have all the fearful ones. They're big ruts, right? So we're very comfortable with fear stopping us. Those are real things, and they're deeply embedded in our brain. But when you do this work, your brain automatically starts rewiring or creating new neural pathways, and those are positive. So now you get to, instead of reacting emotionally with everything from your fear, you actually have the wherewithal to stop and take a look at what you're thinking. Is this taking me toward my goal? Am I being negative or positive? How am I feeling? And then you practice like crazy whenever you can, right?
Yeah.
So so if you're looking for a job, or you want money, for example, to invest with Leah, right, for your future, and you're still in the job market, well, I can help you with a 12-week goal to get you that job. Not a problem. I've done lots of those, right? The truth is that as you're looking for a job or a new position, you visualize the way you want it to be, your boundaries. It's closer to your home, that people there are waiting for you because your expertise is what they've been looking for. rather than, oh, I don't know if I can get it. There's so many people out there, right? Realize that there are people out there that want your skills. They're looking for people like you. And when you walk in, they're going to hire you because what you've told yourself all the way into the interview is, this is perfect for me. They can't wait to see how good I am, and they're going to appreciate me. So you see the difference in what you're thinking about as much as you can. When you walk in, you're vibrating, your cells are vibrating, and it will attract the same thing in them. So if you're miserable and you don't think you deserve it, and you walk in dragging your feet, that's going to pick up their negative vibration. You don't have to know exactly how it works. Trust me, it works. Most people have seen this happen, even if you don't understand exactly how it works. So it's who you're being, what you're thinking about, that is going to attract you to the people that are thinking in the same frequency. Yeah.
So much good stuff there. One thing that I've heard you tell that story many times, and the one thing I really caught this time is that when the question was asked, okay, here's what it is, this is when it is, this is how much it is, you didn't pause, you didn't second guess, you didn't sit there and think about it. You said, I'll be there. I'll be there. And you became obsessed. And that's why when people talk about balance, oh, I just want to be in balance. You're out of alignment. We've got to be obsessed or be average, right? That's what Grant Cardone says. And I mean, there's a time for a pause and to kind of recenter yourself and all of that. But really, if you are in achieve mode, and I think about it this way, it's just like money. You know, a lot of people are doing this variable investing. They go up with the market, they go down. They go up, they go down. That's what most people do. They achieve, they don't. They achieve, they don't. What I teach people to do, and this is really what you're teaching people to do, is indexed. They go up, and then we have a little bit of a pause, and then we go up again, and then we enjoy and kind of celebrate. And that's called an index strategy in finances. And I would say it's an indexed strategy for our achievement, for ourselves. What would you say about that? Would you agree with that?
Well, you know what you made me think of? You made me think of the idea about winning the lottery and why it's so bad. So let me explain this to you, this example. So the reason why people who win the lottery, either people come out of the woodwork and they want to borrow, right? They certainly know how to manage the money. And some people end up worse. Most people end up worse than they were to begin with. So let's just say when you're starting a business, okay, let's say you're at $50,000 a year when you just start out. Maybe that's your first milestone, right? So at 50,000, there are all sorts of things for you to learn, and you learn them. That way, at 50,000, once you've learned those lessons, you can enjoy yourself. Now we're moving up to 75,000. Okay, so between 50 and 75 is a whole bunch of more lessons to learn, right? So now you are a vibrational match for $75,000, and you can enjoy it.
That's right.
Okay, now let's go to six figures, right? The distance between 75 and six figures, there's lots more learning, managing money, getting a financial person, right? It's kind of scary. It was for me between 75 and 100, right? But then you learn those lessons. Now you are a vibrational match to enjoy it. So so people who win the lottery, they're down here with their understanding. And so I think that relates to what you're saying. Would you say that? Okay.
That exactly relates to that. So, and there is studies that show, it's proven, and even when it comes to the rules and laws of our world, there are certain laws. If you make 50,000, than if you make 150,000. There's things that you need to do with your business and such. Most of my clients
Yes.
are entrepreneurs. So it does, you have to achieve, and then it's the pause. It's enjoying it, have that moment of celebration, and then we go up to that next. Otherwise, we're doing this. We gain, we
Exactly.
lose. We gain, we lose. I call that, right, insanity. We're celebrating getting back the same money that we had last time. We're celebrating that we're back to the same place that we were 5 years ago because, we did this. And so we have to, if we can apply that index strategy to our personal development, we will, through osmosis, we will achieve more because it all starts here with the mind. I've watched people just quickly get their business to hundreds of thousands of dollars and even a multi-million-dollar company in a very short period of time. But what happens is they haven't put the systems in place. They haven't grown their mind, so they will not keep it. You just cannot, because you don't know what it takes to maintain a multi-million
Plus, it's
dollar.
miserable. And that, our universe, our God, it's all about love. So, we're given the ability to think, and it's time for people to understand how the mind works. Years ago, I did the first Think and Grow Rich mastermind for families, and something really unique happened. So I had 3 families, and with several kids. One family had 3, and then there were 2 others, 5 kids altogether, 4 parents. The children got the concepts way before the adults. They got it. They don't have as deep a fear. They don't have the resistance that we do after all these years of failures, if you will, and lessons. And I found that fascinating. And the problem now is that the children can know, but the parents don't. And this is what I love about Paulette Hallam's books, Jack and Walter, because what Paulette has done is she's given a voice to the subconscious, the reactive, the fears, the fearful part of a child. That's Jack. And then our higher side, our conscious awareness, this part that we're talking about, is Walter. So there's this conversation between Jack, the fearful child, but also the pause and the balance you're talking about, which is Walter, the higher side. And we both agreed many times that by parents reading this to their children, that the byproduct would be that the parents would get it too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I don't know where this time's gone. We're already over time here. So really quick, I know you've made some new fans and friends. So I know people are going to want to join tomorrow. Please make sure to put it in the chat again so that
it's there. Yeah, it's
wonderful.
there.
People can register. And how can people connect with you? Where can people find you?
Oh, well, the best place to find me is right here on LinkedIn, /L Flowers, the regular thing, right? And then L Flowers, and you'll recognize me. But sometimes I switch around my pictures depending on my mood. But you can always reach me. And if you decide you want to do this tomorrow, look, you have to be ready and willing, and you have to have a big yes in your heart. And if you don't do it. Right? Only do these things when you are ready to have an experience like this. And I'm very practiced in this. So you would register, and then I would send you a quick invoice, which you will pay. And then we'll go from 11 to 2 tomorrow. I'll get you all the details. I'll do it again next year. You can always come to Fridays where we do Think and Grow Rich, or Mondays, Mind Over Matter Mondays. Both of those are at 10 a.m. Eastern.
And I would say it's not an either or. I would say take the goal setting class and attend your other classes. The Mind Over Matter, you do a lot of great things about all of what it comes to our personal development and our thinking, and really challenging us in different ways, highlighting other guest speakers. And also the Think and Grow Rich deep dive. That's really, to me, that's an ongoing study. We're always, because what happens is we're at a different level. We're going to hear things differently. I know so many times I have read that book so many times, but then I hear you tell a story and I pick up a little nuance, or sometimes I will hear you say it and I go, wait a minute, was that in the book? So we're
That's
always
because we're always growing. So like you said in the beginning, if someone is saying, I already know this, they're not ready. $111,
111.
It's the angel number. And tomorrow is the last red moon or full moon of the year in Gemini. And that's why I picked angel numbers. So as a Bill, I this is the only thing I actually sell during the year. But I really want people, you've got to be able to invest. And the money, if it bothers you, money is relative. So if $111 seems like, oh, wow, don't do it. But then I had somebody say, well, gosh, that's reasonable. So it's going to depend on where you are, right? Where you are. If you really want it, look at me, I really wanted it. And to go to work with Proctor, and it was $16,000. But I just knew. And so if this is a problem or a challenge for you, don't do it. You have to want it more, right? You'll have to know that you want to do this. And it's pretty special. But you get to say there's nothing wrong if you choose not to or you choose to do it. Now, I will tell you, it will change your life. You will have a transformational, it will in a positive way. You'll love it. But I want you to be there because you're hungry and thirsty for the missing information that nobody ever really taught us, and for the experience. So thank you, Leah.
And it will be succinct. It will be challenging. You will feel a little brain mushy, but that's okay. Don't get worried. It's okay to feel a little bit confused and then work through that. Know that you're going to be okay in the end. She's going to give you some great things. She's going to challenge you and stretch you. And then she's going to pat you up and you're going to feel okay. And you're going to be like, okay, I can do this. I got this. I'm going to be okay. I promise you. She was not going to take you anywhere that you don't want to go. It is incredible.
And you will ease through the holidays in a very different way because you will already know what's happening next year, first quarter. So there's not going to be this anxiety, oh, well, what am I going to do? And will I get clients? No, that's all taken care of. So there's a lot of wonderful reasons, but there's also reasons not to do it. So I say, whatever is right for you, you will know.
Absolutely. And we know you are always right for us, my queen, Dr. Leslie. Thank you so much for your time. This has been a wonderful, we're definitely, every time we go over, I don't know how that happens, but I appreciate you so much. And definitely please tune in to your Mind Over Matter Mondays, your Think and Grow Rich Fridays. You're always I'm at the gym. Sometimes I forget my ear pod or sometimes they're not charged. But when I can, I listen in because that's my 7 a.m. gym time. I try to say I'm going to get there at 6. It just doesn't happen. I don't know. But anyway, that's another thing. Okay. So thank you so much, everybody. We appreciate you. Thank you for all the comments. We appreciate you if you join on live with us. And we love you, Team Replay. Listen, we've had 2025. It's a year to rise up and thrive. Well, now this is where it comes down to it. We got to set our goals. We got to be ready for 2026 because 2026 is the time to get in the mix. If you've been living in the shadows, if you've been the one that you haven't really let yourself shine, now's the time. We got to get in. We got to get in the mix, get in the comments, get out there, do the things that you want to do because listen, you're the one in your family. If you're here, it's because you are the one in your family that's supposed to change your family's last name forever. You're the one that's supposed to build that dynasty. You're the one that may have the wealth, but it is that dynasty tomorrow. And maybe that means you amass a fortune. Maybe it means you're the first one in your family to pay off your debt. Maybe it means you're the first one in your family to send your kids to college. Maybe it means the first one in the family to buy a home. I don't know what that means for you, but every generation goes along until the one shows up. Thank you for showing up for yourself today. Thank you for showing up today. Thank you, my queen. I appreciate you. And as always, it's always a joy and a pleasure and an honor to share the stage with you. Thank you so much, my queen. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Wealthy Wednesday.
Are you ready to take control of your financial future? Introducing Leah Garcia's Wall of Wealth, the ultimate one-page financial plan to protect, distribute, and transfer your wealth with confidence. Whether you're a business owner or just starting your financial journey, this step-by-step guide gives you the tools to create a solid foundation for long-term success. Don't wait to transform your money mind shift. Download your free copy today at leahgarcia.io and start building your wall of wealth now.